ONLive 2026, welcome to this segment. I understand this is more of like a power lunch, but it's not yet lunch, so we'll make the most out of this. Hi, I'm Jay, and I'm with VTuber NewsDrop. I've been doing these stuff since ONLive pa. Unang ONLive pa lang, nandyan na ako. Alright, so VTubing, as far as it is right now, is an industry that connects real-time interactions with the latest in technology. And it's a it's an industry with a $1 billion valuation, an ecosystem of art, technology, and merchandising. Sino yung nabudol dito? Okay, good. Good on you. Support your VTubers. And of course, it is also a community of overlapping fan groups. Right? Can you spot the references? Can you spot these? This one here, Mega Mall. This one here, Cebu. This one here? All right, good. Good on you. And this one? Okay, that's US. I understand it's at FanimeCon. It's at FanimeCon. It's Main Phantom. All right, so that's just a lot of stuff that's happening in the VTuber scene through the years. You know what? This is you. This is you when you're interacting with anything that involves your Oshi. And this is you, mamaya, sa concert. This is you when you're cheering for your Oshi at physical events, including ONLive. So later on, I'll be seeing the likes of these among the audience later on, all right? It's been almost 10 years since the debut of Kizuna AI. A lot of things have changed. We think of VTubers back then as like people who only can afford to have a model. Remember, VTubing back then is a big investment. It's tens of thousands of pesos. And before that, again, it was an expensive career to pursue. If it was a career back then. For most of us na lumaki sa VTubing, it was a hobby at first. And right now, VTubing is an on-screen experience. But look at what's up with VTubing now, right? So again, you only need a mobile phone to stream. You have seen efforts, we've seen efforts to make VTubing less costly and ready to be dissected. And the only sense left to experience is the sense of smell. Remember, we've seen meet and greets, meet and touch, meet and see, meet and hear. Kulang na lang smell-o-vision. So, with that said, I want this to be an interactive presentation, and I want to involve audience members right here. So I was asking earlier, I was also asking that herb plush there. Hi, hello. I'll be involving all of you guys into this next presentation. I just need to make sure that I'll make this in 20 minutes. All right? We have examples. We have 3 choices on the screen first, and you will define what is the common thing about each of them. And there's definitely no right or wrong answers here. So we will all learn from this experience. With that said, Hajime Masho, let's begin with our examples. All right? These are 3 applications. What's the common thing between each of them? What's the common thing? I mean, you know the names. You must know the platforms. What's the common between these 3? Cosmo, what's the common between these 3? What's the common thing? Okay, the answer is, these are all mobile apps that can help you stream as a VTuber using your mobile phone. The first one, of course, is ONLive. There we go. ONLive is an early adopter of mobile VTubing in the West, founded by Captain from Prism Project. Prism Project, anyone? Anyone remembers Prism Project? Good on you. Love you. All right. Kaso nga lang, however, ONLive had a short-lived existence, and I understand it was due to the scale of efforts that needed to operate not just an application, but also like the infrastructure all behind it. Now, if we look at all these VTubers, any one of you are familiar with any of these VTubers on screen? Anyone? All right. So, of course, Phoebe Chan, Cozy Chu, Ibu Kimeno, Pion Felix, Rita Kamishiro, Nox Orphy, Esila Sheffield, Guppy, Cloto Melodium. All of these started sa ONLive. But if I would think of any VTuber that really succeeded from this ONLive generation, I could only think of two. Lulu Lasso and Oryx Rixie Biteful. Rixie has been featured on NewsDrop before, but Lulu Lasso, I recall her the most during the time when we were talking about, people were talking about Streamer University, Kai Cenat's Streamer University. People wanted to learn more about what they're really doing as streamers. And in the context of VTubers, of course, I recall Lulu saying that she would like to have something similar to this. But because both of them came from Nexus Academia. Nexus. Anyone remembers Nexus? All right. Okay, so basically, they call it the Battle Royale of VTubing. They had a massive debut, sunod-sunod. So yeah, that's how people remember, most people remember Nexus. But people don't remember like the people that are respected by their peers, especially Lulu. And of course, on my regard, Rixie too as well. So, okay. Now, Irium US, the other one that's on the middle, is currently up. Cosmo knows this. How many hours are you streaming? How many hours are you watching streamers on Irium? He doesn't know. Okay, that's fine. This is an offshoot of the popular Irium app launched in Japan in 2018, and it was launched in US in November 2024. They are now approaching their second year this November. So, if anything, I could think of two personalities from Irium US who are already like, people know them, you've seen them, they made their presence. One of whom is Celeste Orion, also featured on NewsDrop. And Celeste hosted a rave party during Off-Kai Expo weekend. Off-Kai Expo. Both of ONLive and Off-Kai are pioneers in all of these VTuber events. So, palakpakan for ONLive. All right. The other one is Otto Harurio, who apparently, I don't know about this guy. I don't know. I really don't know. But this guy made an Utao voice bank of himself, also called Rio. So, pretty amazing. And of course, another choice, another thing that I'd like to show is Avi. This is the third app from the choices earlier. So, ONLive shut down. So in our news story, it's understood and we reported that ONLive will be redeveloping themselves. And I understand this is like the second iteration. Avi is another Ball's next project, launched in 2022, which enables you to customize your avatar on iPhone and Android, which you can stream, which you can use to stream. So here's an example. Right. This was me when I tried out Avi as a test run for our Off-Kai 2025 special coverage stream. And this is how I customized the avatar out. They have specific instructions for OBS. So if you want to check on something, you might want to try Avi as a test. Of course, there are several stuff that you can do or you can get. Okay, I'd like to put everyone's attention to these three items. These are three items. These are, okay, so, these three items, what is the common thing among each of them? Anyone? Yes, you're almost there. Anyone? These are the things that you need that in order for you to host your 3D streams. Let's start with real-time motion tracking without markers. It uses, okay, this is technical stuff. Just to let people know, this is all technical stuff. Long story short, they set up the camera, you don't need to attach anything. I'll show you an example later. And it's Moving Tracing claims that they have studio-grade system with 93% accuracy versus traditional marker-based systems. Another item here is VCon mocap. VCon is the one that ONLive uses, right? I had to combine these two because both of them have the same purpose. Motion tracking without any hula baloo, without any attachments almost. So, just some examples. Anyone knows anyone who knows who this VTuber is? No? All right. What? Say what? Okay, good. Very good. All right. So, Reichi and Saroe and Onigiri uses motionless trackers. Like the motion trackers rather. Motion trackers. It's a mixed bunch, but all of them use a certain kind of motion tracking device that allows them to just move freely without more or less attachments. Because the other option that we have has attachments. We talk about RevoCap. We talk about a system of up to 15 trackers which you can attach to your body. And it's not just RevoCap. We have MocoP. But we'll talk about RevoCap and Slime VR later on. And basically, the cheaper choice so far. If we talk about Moving Tracing and VCon, that's like hella expensive. We talk about RevoCap and Slime VR. These are the tools or devices that some VR chat streamers also use. So, for example, these items. So these items, you attach it to your body. This is RevoCap. Big Nose Bug uses it. And you know this example from, I think this is from recent. I had to show this simply because of the versatility of the items that was used during that time. Going to the restroom, still wearing the trackers. I will not show the rest of the clip. All right, we talk about Slime VR. This is the one compatible with Sony's MocoP technology. So there we go. These are the Slime VR items. Also, you will also attach them to your body as sensors. So, compact sensors, also compatible with MetaQuest and PC apps. Again, ito yung ginagamit ng mga nag-VR chat. All right? So, that is Slime VR. And then, of course, the ever-popular Warodo, which established the ability for VTubers to host their concerts without any hula baloo. Like, this is the cheapest choice so far. You get Warodo, and then you have several worlds that's contributed by the community, as far as I understood. It's a comprehensive software that supports many capture systems, works with a wide range of capture systems. You can simply just use your webcam for this. And the industry uses it. Nakalagay sa website nila. It's in their website. Cover, Any Color, Face Connect. These agencies somehow has touched Warodo. And best case example from Lazuli. This is from Off-Kai Expo Gen 5 that's happened recently. I just stole the video, put it on this presentation, but this is a good example of innovation in VTubing that's so far is still innovating. So let's move to the next. Okay. There we go. All right. Three common things on the screen. What's the most common thing about each of them? What's the most common thing about live events like ONLive, like Off-Kai, like the ONLive Super Expo. What's the common thing between this and games, art rhythm games, esports, and other Japanese media? What's the common thing about them? All of them are activities beyond streams. So, VTubers are everywhere. VTubers are everywhere. And I'll tell you what. Live events, of course, this one here is from Super Expo. So from, again, I told you earlier, from on-screen experiences, we're now experiencing physical events. We still watch VTubers on screen, just bigger. It's just bigger, all right? And now, VTubers are now highly sought after because when you go to a VTuber event, you have communities of fans that are raving at these VTubers. They love to sing along with these VTubers. They love to do otage. They love to cheer for their Oshi. And of course, at the end of the day, you put all the VTuber fans in a small room, it will be jam-packed. So there's a high demand already for VTubers. There's already a discussion about VTubers getting their whatchamacallit, like compensation. That's a trickier topic, but we'll move forward. We'll move past that. Some examples here. This one is from Fantastic Reality. Anyone knows Fantastic Reality? Emilia Phelps co-produced this concert together with other VTubers, and they rented out a theater. That's how it looks. Drawn to Dawn from cover. Takanashi Kiara and Inomai Inanis held a concert together, also in a theater. This is in the UK, Phoebe Chan at Vexpo. Right. So, Vexpo, the upcoming Vexpo is expected to be a bigger encounter because it's not just VTubers from one agency, VTubers from two agencies, and other indie VTubers. I think everyone's there. So the UK is eating a lot. Of course, anyone plays trading card games? Anyone plays HoloLive Dreams? Let's be friends. I have my friend ID somewhere. Aside from being just characters you see on screen, reacting to stuff live, there are also intellectual properties, which means there are also characters that you can market as anything else, basically. Merchandise, trading card games, rhythm games. So, just several examples. In Malaysia, they have VDaisho. They have their own Malaysia VTuber trading cards. Of course, V-Card from Gamersubs. And then we also have Nova Okami having a special appearance at Grand Archive. Anyone plays Grand Archive from this crowd? Grand Archive. That's a different bunch. HoloLive official card game, Kiara. Right. Best design out there, I see. Of course, Oshipush, which partnered with Face Connect. Oshipush, you see Tenma, you see Pippa. And of course, the latest one, Cross Stars. Actually, no one in the Western scene knows about Cross Stars unless they go check out Japanese VTubers who are also into the esports scene. Neoporte, Vispo. This one here is a newly released design of Aria Kuroha from Vispo EN on Cross Stars. That's only available in Japan as far as I see. Right, random games! Right, Himehina on Maimai. Right? Niji Sanji and HoloLive and Himehina on Chunidim. Right. This is Rotaino. One of the songs here is sung featuring the vocals of Sky Senford. Rotaino. They also have a Maimai collab right now. And of course, the latest one from Infalsus, Cryogenic, Petra Gurin. Right, he knows elite ball knowledge. Of course, people who are like VTuber fans who just arrived in the scene after like 2024 up to now may have missed elite ball knowledge. We talk about VTuber in the media, VTubing in the media. This is the latest one. Coming to Tsubaki City under construction. Kafu! Anyone knows of Kafu? VWP, they know elite ball knowledge. Do you know what this is though? Watanoki Sanchi no Watanoki Sanchi to. That's Toki no Sora and other VTubers cast in a Asadora style series. Now, people should be familiar with this. Himehina. Anyone familiar with Himehina? Hitogata. This is the series where I first heard that song. Virtual Sun Gamitero. In the Philippines, we can call it the bubble gang of VTubing. It's a variety show. They have featured stars. So it's like, in the US, we can call it Saturday Night Live of VTubing. In the Philippines, we are more familiar with bubble gang. Of course, recent titles. Anyone knows VTuber Legend? VTuber Legend? I finished the anime. I also read the manga. It's good. This one, Kizuna AI. You guys have elite ball knowledge. This is the anime that was airing when Kizuna AI was asleep. And at my back, Natsumi Kurusu's a misanthrope teaches a school of demi-humans. Jingei Kyoshitsu. So basically, a Niji Sanji VTuber had written a light novel, and then that light novel was adapted into anime. So you see, there's future with VTubing. The future with VTubing is that you create and create and create and create and see what sticks. I love this anime so much. Even if it's just one core. All right. I just have to show this slide and expect reactions from ONLive fans. Can I have the ONLive fans here? Are you paying attention to this? Womp Womp, she's also paying attention. All right. The detective is already dead. Had cameos by Fubuki and Batsuri. All right. Just some of the cameos, like anyone here knows the Eminence in Shadow. Nenechi had a role, I believe, in that series. And it's not just that. VTubers in the media, light novels. This one is made by someone who is so controversial. If I mention the name, everyone will be surprised. This is a novel written by Mike Neko. Real. As in the Mike Neko we know now. This one here, The Demon Hungers. Anyone who watched The Demon Hungers? Good on you. Good on you. I also watched The Demon Hungers. And I watched it in the theater with other fans, and the energy's so high. This one here I want to feature because this will be part of our future content. We have Kokone Korobane, who's currently streaming on, I understand she's streaming on Arium US. I hope I'm right. And she also, on the side, writes a novel. So Lynn and Leonidas, I have yet to read the whole thing. We have received a review copy of it. All right. So, okay, I want to put Cheddar Kids. I need Cheddar Kids. Any Cheddar Kids, raise your hands. Walang Cheddar Kids dito? Di bale. I know there are Cheddar Kids in the house. This one here, of course, Cap is also not just venturing into mobile games, anime. She also ventured in theater. Otogi Banashi. And also, the recent one, I mentioned Lazuli earlier. This is what they did with Raki Kazuki. Any trash pants in chat? Trash pants. Okay, we gotta invite Raki Kazuki in the Philippines soon. Also Lazuli. Because these two set up a 3D live musical called Surge. So they were thinking of something that adds spice to the whole 3D live musical thing because this is a story that they made up and showed on the screen. And of course, they had to be innovative. They had to think out of the box. Spoilers, they had a physical kaiju during the screening of this musical. While the rest of them are on screen. A physical kaiju. So that's Surge. And again, there's basically the future is enormous for VTubing. You can also get yourself in, of course, 2026 is the year that we're tracking several VTuber songs, original VTuber songs. But aside from that, within the music industry, things are changing and VTubing is making its presence. First and foremost, Hoshimachi Suisei, perhaps the only VTuber nominated in the Music Awards Japan just recently. And also, Gensuke Chojiro, who is now composing music with Sixth Floor. So, voice acting. Voice acting. So, okay, this is a voice actor. Her name is Rory Asano. Right. Rory Asano is signed to a voice acting agency called Crocodile. And on the side, she also does her usual VTubing stuff. At my back, of course, Fubuki. Fubuki with Kamen Rider Geats. So, before we proceed to this slide, I just want to share an anecdote with an interview that I had with Yuko Miyamura, aka Asuka Lang Lisorio from Evangelion, when she went here to the Philippines some time ago. And basically what I am understanding in the discussion that we had is that VTubing and voice acting are mixing together. Some VTubers can be voice actors already, and it's already happening. But voice actors can also be VTubers. It depends. We had that full discussion on our website, of course. You'll have to watch the video. Okay, here's the thing. To cap up this presentation, I hope I'm not over time. We are slowly learning that most VTubers would prefer initiating their projects as indies. Even in agencies, we've been hearing news stuff about self-produced VTuber projects, self-produced projects made by VTubers. Irregardless if you are within an agency or you're an independent VTuber. People would love to set up their projects, whether if it's an anniversary merch set, a song album, like for example, Eva Ana Nova and Chika Fujilisa. And they would not want to prefer any middlemen because, long story short, there are cases right now that the middlemen who are supposed to be delivering goods for VTubers and their fans are failing. So they would take action, take everything into their own hands, and just do it independently. So VTubers have this sense of accountability to their fans, which I highly respect, right? Because in VTubing nowadays, you can't just be doing VTubing for the hobby. You have to be entrepreneurial. You have to be your own boss. You have to be your own businessman. And over time, you will learn eventually how to manage the stuff, right? Of course, you also need help. Here's the thing. Knowledge is everywhere. Execution is just costly. So, the fan economy that we have right now, the VTuber economy that we have right now, is something that I am confident to say that's run by fans, circulated within an ecosystem of the talent, the merch, the producers, the fans, so on and so forth. We have an ecosystem already. It's just about time that people already learn how to go through it. And of course, we had a poll some time ago that we just basically asked them, so you're a VTuber, what's the first thing that you want among the choices that's already listed? Like, what's your priority? Do you want a new model? Do you want an album? Do you want a self-produced song? Do you want to host your own events? Most of them have said that they would prefer model upgrades. They want to have like a V2 model of their own character. And some of them would want to have their own subtitled album, like again with Eva, with Lisa, and within the agencies, you know, the original songs. We are supposed to list down a quarterly recap of original VTuber songs, perhaps after ONLive, perhaps after all the VTuber events that we need to clear the backlogs with, maybe we can have a quarterly recap again. And again, even if the economy is down, fans would still find ways to support their Oshi. Like, for real. Any one of you guys who send super chats? Raise your hand. Super chatters. All right. So, among the audience, anyone, sino sa inyo ang gustong bumili ng VTuber merch if you have the chance? Taas ang kamay. Right. What we're learning so far is in VTubing, in order to support your Oshi, super chats are not enough. Donos could be something. Donos out of like platforms like YouTube and Twitch are something. But supporting them through physical merchandise, supporting them through physical events, like we've had those things. And it's very, like, those are the things that you cherish very much. And before I lose my voice here, I want to tell you something. VTubing, the culture that we have, has been adopted from Japanese idol culture. But as we grow, we learn eventually to still support our Oshi even if they don't no longer describe themselves as idols. So we're slowly accepting the non-idol parts of VTuber culture. Can you tell that the one thing that's common between all of these VTubers on screen? Right. Biggest hint so far. The biggest hint. You know Nimi, right? Nimi Nightmare, who's welcomed by fans when she said, "I'm married." Everybody welcomed that. How about Elia Sanono? Elia Sanono from V4 Mirai. She now has twins. She's a parent. Of course, definitely Oscar. Right. Guelo Oscar has to be a father, so that's why he decided to like graduate from Niji Sanji. that's as far as I understood. Malfina from Saks Agency, she's now a mom. Pina Penguin definitely has talked to Oscar and is also a mom. Shiki, we welcome the development with Shiki Miyoshino and her... What? With Jun? Yes. With Jun. All of these VTubers that's on the screen right now are adults, parents, mothers, fathers, and we are slowly accepting that things change. That we can still support our Oshi even if they're no longer like, say, idol material. Right? That they are people that we support and we love. And we support because, not just because of their talent, not just because of how they entertained us. So, One day, your Oshi will become a mother, a father, an uncle, an auntie, so on and so forth. But I hope that we do not lose the sense of support that we gave to them since the start, since we first met them. That said, I will have to wrap up the presentation with these 3 statements. A lot has changed over time. Again, VTubing is no longer just a hobby, it's a business. People are making business out of it. People are talking about agencies. People are talking about going out of the agency model because it's unsustainable, they say. But here's the thing. We're not going anywhere. We are almost everywhere. From the anime that we watch, from the music that we hear, from the manga that we read, the light novels also that we read, and from the experiences that we have, especially today. Right? VTubing is here to stay. And with that said, we are VTuber NewsDrop. We believe that there is a industry in VTubing that's worth the love and the respect it deserves. Together with me are my co-producers, Firozera and Jimmy, Pogi Pogi. So with that said, how's the presentation so far? Do you have any questions? Has this enlightened you more about VTubing today? I need an eye. I need it louder. With that said, again, we're still finishing our backlogs. Patatapos to perhaps 2 weeks after ONLive. Pero with that said, we have content to share with you. So stay tuned to our socials. And with that said, ONLive, for one more time, palapakan natin ang ONLive. We've been presenting several stuff on this very convention. Last year's convention, we had Shiori Pon, Doc Shiori Pon, and Hello Mirai in a panel that really touches me more, as much as it touches everyone. It's about burnout. And look, ONLive 2026. Doc's performing mamaya! And we have Hello Mirai finally appeared here at the side of the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure and an honor to talk to you about all these stuff. So with that said, from VTuber NewsDrop, from my heart to yours, thank you very much for your kind trust.
Came here to show off